Okay. Chapter 3. This is actually my first chapter. Even though I'm going to put 1 and 2, this is my first chapter. The important things to know: real estate license law and commission rules. The powers of the DBPR, which is the Department of Business. Department of Business and Professional Regulation is the DBPR. So the DBPR is the Department of Business and Professional Regulation. The department is authorized to issue cease and desist orders, administer oaths, take depositions, and issue subpoenas, and adopt rules concerning violations that may be submitted for mediation. The department may seek an injunction from a court against the licensee for failure to follow a department order. The department does not have the authority to issue injunctions against unlicensed persons, but may seek an injunction from the courts for failure to follow a department order. The department may issue a notice of noncompliance or citation to a licensee for specified offenses. The department, that's the DBPR, Department of Business and Professional Regulation, through the Division of Real Estate, conducts investigations and the prosecution of complaints. The department also has the power to issue a cease and desist order against an unlicensed party for violation of any rule or law under its administration. Citations may be issued to violators of specified rules that include the payment of an administrative fine not to exceed $5,000 per offense. The department may act as a plaintiff in a civil action, in which case a civil penalty of not less than $500 but not more than $5,000 may be imposed. Composition of the Florida Real Estate Commission, otherwise known as FREC. There are 7 members on the FREC appointed by the governor, subject to confirmation by the Senate. 4 members must be actively licensed real estate brokers that have been licensed in Florida for 5 years prior to their appointment. 1 member may be actively licensed, any actively licensed real estate licensee who has been licensed in Florida for at least 2 years prior to his or her appointment. The remaining 2 members, called lay members, cannot hold or have ever held a real estate license prior to their appointment. So let's run that through one more time. 4 of them must have their Florida's broker's license for at least 5 years prior to their appointment. 1 member may be any actively licensed Floridian real estate licensee. So that's 4 brokers licensed for 5 years or more. 1 who's been licensed, doesn't have to be a broker, could be a sales associate who's been licensed for 2 years prior, and 2 lay members who are basically civilians. They can't ever have been licensed or be licensed in the future. Then they could lose their place in the FREC. I don't know. Disregard that. I made that up. Term of office. FREC members, that's Florida Real Estate Commission, are appointed for a 4-year term. Members may not serve more than 2 consecutive terms, although there is no maximum number of years they may serve as long as no more than 2 terms are consecutive. Terms are 4 years each. They can serve as many terms as they want, but not more than 2 terms in a row. That means not more than 8 years in a row. They can serve a million years if they live long enough, but it has to be divided, so they're not doing more than 8 in a row. Powers of the FREC. The Florida Real Estate Commission is an administrative agency that has been delegated certain powers under Florida Statute 475. Specific powers of the FREC include the following. Executive powers include the publication of books and newsletters to keep licensees and the public informed of new and important changes in the law and rules governing the real estate profession, furthering the education of potential and current licensees, and the investigation of complaints against licensees. The executive powers can be exercised by the chairperson acting alone or can be delegated by quorum vote to any other FREC members. So the executive powers can be exercised by the chairperson acting alone or can be delegated by quorum vote to any other FREC member. Quasi-legislative powers. Sorry, it's a little bit hard to say. Quasi-legislative powers give the FREC the power to make and pass rules regulating the operation of licensees and the real estate profession. Rules enacted by the Commission are not laws, but have much of the same effect. The purpose of rulemaking authority is to allow FREC to interpret and implement the law. So that's the quasi-legislative powers. It's that it's not laws, but they're rulemaking authority, which have somewhat of the same effect as laws. Another one of their powers is disciplinary authority. The commission may deny an application for licensure or may discipline licensees for violations of Florida Statute 475 or any rule enacted under its authority. Licensees may be issued a reprimand. Sorry about that. I'm gonna have some water. Licensees, peoples who are licensed, may be issued a reprimand or an let's try this from the top. Licensees may be issued a reprimand or an administrative fine of up to $5,000 per offense, placed on probation, suspended for up to 10 years, or permanently revoked. So, the commission may deny an application for licensure or may discipline licensees for violations of Florida Statute 475 or any rule enacted under its authority. Licensees may be issued a reprimand or an administrative fine up to $5,000 per offense, placed on probation, suspended for up to 10 years, or permanently revoked. Okay. The license is valid on the date the applicant receives official notification of passage of the state examination. Upon passing the examination, an applicant receives an inactive license status. The licensee can request an active real estate license by filing employment information on the completed DBPR, that's Department of Business and Professional Regulation, transaction form with Division of Real Estate. The initial license is for a period of not less than 18 months but not exceeding 2 years. All licenses expire on either March 31st or September 30th of the appropriate year. Renewal. A licensee who fails to renew a license at expiration in other than the initial license period automatically becomes involuntarily inactive and can remain in this status for 2 years. So someone who fails to renew a license at expiration in other than the initial license period automatically becomes involuntarily inactive and can remain this way for 2 years. Active and inactive license status. An individual attains license status by completing the required educational course and successfully passing the state examination for licensure. If an active status is desired, a sales associate obtains employment with either a broker or an owner-employer and submits a completed DBPR, that's Department of Business and Professional Regulation, transaction form to the department. Once received, the licensee becomes active and may begin performing services of real estate for compensation. Involuntarily inactive. As an individual that does not request a renewal, pay the required fees, or maintain his or her continuing education requirements, will automatically be placed in involuntary inactive status. An individual may remain an involuntarily active licensee for no more than 2 years. Inactive real estate licensees cannot legally perform or be compensated for real estate services. Void and ineffective licenses. If a broker's license is suspended or revoked or otherwise void or ineffective, the licensees of all persons licensed under such broker becomes automatically inactive. If a licensee decided to no longer practice real estate, he or she could turn the license back into the apartment. The license would be canceled. Group license and multiple licenses. A sales associate or broker associate may have only one registered employee at a time. A group license is a single real estate license that can be obtained if the sales associate or broker associate works for one owner-developer with affiliated organizations providing real estate services in different geographic areas. Not sure if I understood that. We're going to repeat it. A sales associate or broker associate may have only one registered employee at a time. Got that. Sorry, my battery's running low. A group license is a single real estate license that can be obtained if the sales associate or broker associate works for one owner developer with affiliated organizations providing real estate services in different geographic areas. I don't understand that. I'm not sure why that's not going through, but it's something that I don't understand. A group license is, it can be our broker associate works. Oh, if the person that he works for has different geographical things. So he's going to be doing like a lot of different things. It's a group license for like, I guess, the group of things that he's doing it for. Okay, whatever. Sorry. We're almost done. One more paragraph of chapter 3. Multiple licenses. A broker can be issued additional licenses in 2 or more capacities by requesting multiple licenses. The broker must show the additional licenses necessary for legitimate business reasons. Oh. The broker has to show that the licenses are necessary, like the broker, he or she needs those licenses for legitimate business reasons. The request for issuance of multiple licenses cannot be prejudicial to the broker's business associates or the public. Multiple licenses are not available to sales associates or broker associates. And there we are. The important parts of chapter 3 all finished. It was lovely, and I will see you back for chapter 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do all of it, but, but I can.